Hi everyone, good to be back with you. There are three types of people, and there is one God. One of my favourite stories in the Bible, it's from Luke chapter 15. It's the story that we sometimes call the story of the prodigal son. And there are two boys, two young men, and their father. One of the young men is kind of wild and wayward. He loves the living it up, and he loves to party. And the other boy, he's kind of a little bit more reserved. He wants to please his father. He wants to be good. He stays at home. He works hard. And then the father's there always for his children. Now, in the story, the one of the brothers, the younger brother, he runs off with the money. He comes to his father and he says, like, I wish you were dead. I mean, he doesn't say it quite like that, but he wants his inheritance now, which is the same sort of thing, isn't it? I want my inheritance. And he goes off and he squanders everything on the high life, the partying, the food, wine and women and song. He's living it large. The other guy is at home, doing well, working hard with his father, keeping his life pretty much in check. And you think, which of those two guys is going to turn out best? Which of those two guys is going to be receiving the favour and love of his father? It's a surprising story in so many ways. Now, what happens is the young boy, the younger brother, he runs out of cash, right? His life has hit rock bottom. And it's very interesting that what happens is his security goes. And so, maybe you're watching and you're thinking, my security's gone, and maybe I have lived for myself. I've been living it up, and, so your security's gone. And this guy's face down in the dirt. This guy's at rock bottom. He's got nothing to eat. He's going to eat animal feed, animal slop. It's disgusting. But that's how desperate he is. That's how low he's sunk in life. That's where he's got to. And he recognizes, I've squandered life. I've not got it right. I've tried to please myself and live for myself, and I've not lived for anyone else. Meanwhile, his older brother's at home, and he's very proudly, smugly, self-importantly living for himself as well. Not in the same sort of way where he's trying to indulge his flesh with pleasure and the high life, but he's the goody-goody. Yeah, he's the good guy, trying to be the good guy and trying to let everyone else know that he's the good guy. Anyway, younger brother, face down in the dirt, recognizes he's got to go home. Such shame, such embarrassment for him going home. And so he starts to make his way back to his father, and he's got this prepared speech in his mind, and it's like, I've sinned against you, and I've sinned against heaven, Father, and I've messed up, and I'm really sorry about all of that. And so he's going through his prepared speech. He's trying to learn it off by heart, and he's sort of making his way home. Meanwhile, his father, he's been stood on the doorstep of his house, looking beyond the hills, wondering what day his son will come back. That's his heart's desire. That's his longing. That's his yearning. And then the day comes. He sees the little figure walking over the top of the hill. Along he comes, and he sees him. And as soon as he lays his eyes on him, he runs. Very undignified for this old man in this culture. He hoists up his clothing, and he legs it out towards his wayward son. You'd think he would have been giving him the third degree. You think he deserves the lecture, doesn't he? Son, you had this coming, No, he doesn't. He runs to him, he embraces him, he kisses him, he puts a ring on his finger, the sign of, like, you're back and I'm passing on everything to you, and he puts a robe on him, and he calls his servant, let's kill the fattened calf, let's celebrate my son, this son of mine who was dead, and he's now alive, he's back to me, he's come home. And he's full of joy, he's full of rejoicing. He's run to meet his son, and his son is like, he can't even get his prepared speech out. He's like, yeah, forget that. Doesn't matter. I'm here. I got you, and I wanted you all this time. Yeah, it may have taken a face down in the slop for you to realise that this is home. This is what you need. Meanwhile, the older brother, he is fuming. You killed the fattened calf for him after everything he's done, and I've just laboured for you over and over again. And the guy's fuming. He's spitting teeth. Now, Jesus tells this story, the parable of the prodigal son, to tell us that there are three types of people. And there's one type of God. There's the wayward. There's the guy living for himself, seeking pleasure, seeking joy in the passing things of this world. That's where he's going to find joy. There's the other son who thinks he's going to have joy and thinks he's going to get there through his own efforts, through his own proud, hard work, through his clean living, his upright life, his moral goodness. He thinks he's done it. And the third person, you're thinking, who's this third person? Well, the third person is what the first son became. It's what the older brother needs to do. He needs to recognize that life and love and pleasure and salvation and everything, it's not found that way. You don't get it that way. And oftentimes it is only after you're face down in the dirt you realize, I just need my Father. I need my God. In the story, the Father is picturing Jesus. This is what he's like. He runs to the sinner. He runs to the one who realizes, I need help. He comes to the one who says, I can't do it. I've wasted my life, whether I've wasted it by trying to be proud and be moral and upright, or wasted it by just pleasing myself. I've wasted my life. And he runs to that person. And before we can go, I'm sorry, prepared speech and everything, and I'm going to do this, I'll make it up to you. He's like, no, I'm here to sort it out. That's what Easter's about. I'll pay for your sin. I will pay it all off on the cross. I'm going to rise again to justify you so that you're right before God, and I can take you through life and through death. And just like me, look, I've come out the other side. If you trust me, I'll do the same for you, with you, through you. The God that we serve, that the Bible teaches, is full of love and compassion for those who know they're messed up, they've lost it all, they've got nowhere else to go. You have got somewhere. You've got the living God. You've got Jesus, who is the Son of the Father, who will fill you with his Spirit of life. And before you can get those words out, you'll find he's there. He's there for you. You don't need to clean up your life first. He will run to you and meet you as a poor and destitute person, as a sinner. That's exactly who he's come for. He hasn't come for anyone else. He hasn't come for the morally upright. He hasn't come for the older brother until the older brother gets to that point where he's on his knees going, I need help. I can't please anyone. I can't even please myself by just being good. I need to be saved. That's the one he's come for. There are three types of person in this world. There's the one who tries hard, who works hard, who thinks they're going to gain life and salvation and security and everything else through all that they do. There are people who are hedonistically throwing themselves into pleasure and they don't care. And there's that person who goes, neither of those approaches is right. I need to come home to my God. Only then will it be right. Only then will it be well for me. And you'll find the Lord rushing to meet you in your peril, in your doom, in your darkest moment. He is there for you. He's only there for the sinner. He's only come for the lost. If you're watching this and you're thinking, I'm desperate at the moment, I don't know life anymore, I don't understand anything, what do I do now? Well, confess that sin. Confess that position. Confess you can't help yourself. You can't save yourself. You need God. Cry out to the Lord. Call upon the Lord. Trust in Jesus. Believe in Jesus, and you will be saved. I hope you find this message today a challenge that you can find hope. You can find life. You don't have to keep scratching around in the mud. You don't have to keep trying to be good. Well, the Lord will make you good, and then you'll live to please him. So keep seeking Jesus. Come to Jesus. Come to him today.